It's the GTN show, and we're in the middle of Swim Week.
Yeah, that's right. We've got a dedicated week of swimming content ranging from beginner explainers through to a monofin swim race. And also looking at budget triathlon wetsuits versus top-end wetsuits.
That's right, so tune in this week for all of that. But first, we've got a whole bunch of tri news this week, including another Jan Frodeno showdown, this time with Gustav Iden. And a whole bunch of other people are also allowed to race this one.
Absolutely. We also got 60 Ironmans in 60 days.
And some controversy within Triathlon Australia.
Well, first of all, let's take a look through some of the things we've spotted on social media. And it wouldn't be a show without talking about Flora Duffy, would it?
Yeah, she's been in the news a bit recently. In fact, Flora Duffy Day is coming up next week. And to commemorate it, Asics have launched a new custom Flora Duffy shoe for her. It's gold, it's got her name on it, it's got the Bermuda flag on it. As you should, it's the shoe that she won the Olympic gold in, and Christian Blumenfeld was also wearing, so pretty cool shoe for her there.
How do you think Christian feels not having a gold shoe?
Oh, maybe he's in the post.
Yeah, maybe. Also spotted that Helen Jenkins, who is arguably one of the best British female triathletes that we've had in our time, has officially announced her retirement from triathlon. I think we had probably all speculated this for a while, but she has officially announced it. This is after 2 World Championship wins, 3 Olympic Games, so a fantastic career, and we wish you all the best, Helen.
Yeah, and from someone ending their triathlon career to potentially someone starting it.
Oh, yes.
Ooh, yeah. Look, Wout van Aert, after his, I think he was 11th or 10th at the top 10 anyway at the Paris-Roubaix, he's taken a break from cycling, and that means he's taken up running. So he posted a run on Strava, and everyone was like, that's really interesting. And then he posted another one, 10 miles in 1:11:11 at an average pace of 4:24, which is a solid run for someone who's not supposed to be training at the moment.
Do you think he's going to be contending with Tom Pidcock?
Oh no, he doesn't hold a candle to Tom Pidcock's time. What did he run, a 13:25 5K?
Yeah, casual.
Yeah, he's got a bit of work to do.
And that was on an easy run, didn't Tom just head out and give it a go? Yeah, something like that.
Cyclist, man.
Next up, we spotted Pete Butler the weekend before last at London Marathon, donned some wellies for the marathon and ran an impressive 2 hours 56:38. That's averaging 4:11 per kilometre in wellies, setting a new Guinness record.
Mark made me running in wellies for my first video on the channel, and I tell you, I would not have run that fast in them. It's pretty impressive. I actually ran exactly the same time in the Brighton Marathon, and I was not wearing wellies, so I don't know how he did that. Very impressive world record there.
Yeah, and he says his actual time is 2 hours 42 in normal shoes, so not that bad, really.
Maybe there's another video there after the Crocs one, a wellies video.
Are you offering?
No.
We're now moving on to the tri news, and just as the season would ordinarily tail off and come to a close for 2021, it's taken a sudden turn. Introducing Ironman California.
Well, that's right. New race on the calendar, and Jan Frodeno has announced he's taking part in another battle royale, this time with Gustav Iden and a whole bunch of other people, because everyone's allowed to enter this one.
Yeah, Gustav has recently pipped the GOAT in the PTO world standings, but Jan hasn't actually raced an Ironman full distance race this year, apart from his casual iron distance record in his own tri-battle race. So how will he stack against Gustav? Or should I say, how will Gustav stack against Frodeno?
Well, Gustav hasn't raced an Ironman ever. This is his first ever Ironman, but he is fresh off 70.3 World Championship title, so he's in good shape, that's for sure. Unfortunately, won't be seeing his countryman Christian Blumenfeld also in this race. He's chosen to do his debut Ironman at Ironman Cozumel in a few weeks' time, but it still promises to be quite the battle between these two. Jan Frodeno had the fastest time at the Collins Cup. Gustav Iden had the second fastest time, so neck and neck they were there.
But it's not just we them either. I mean, we have got Camworth, Ben Hoffman, Florian Angert there in the mix.
Yeah, plenty of guys to watch, but probably only 2 guys we're going to be watching, maybe.
Well, I don't want to count anyone out, but it's definitely going to be an exciting race.
Absolutely. In other tri news, Alistair Brownlee, who has called it time on his short distance racing career, is still going to be involved in the Olympics. He's been elected to the European Olympic Committee's Athletes Commission as a board member, a commission that gives the athletes a voice in key decision making, and at the same time he becomes a member of the British Olympic Association's Athletes Commission. So he's going to be playing a role there in athletes' rights.
Yeah, very cool. Also, last Tuesday, endurance ultra-marathoner Rake Rataset from Estonia has set off on another epic challenge from Fuerteventura, and this time to finish 60 full iron distance triathlons within as many days. That is a total of 228 kilometers swimming, 10,800 kilometers of cycling, and then 2,532 kilometers of running. So he started on October the 5th, and this will run through until December the 3rd. Now, this isn't his first foray in this sort of thing. No. He has already done 20 iron distance triathlons in 20 days back in 2018, and also 40 iron distance triathlons in 40 days back in 2019. He also, just to add another element challenge to this, plans to do all of them in under 11 hours or as close to that, meaning he'll give him a total time of 660 hours, and similarly to his previous challenges, plans to do all the marathons in under 4 hours.
It's a very impressive feat if he pulls it off. A lot of people might be sitting there going, but what about the Iron Cowboy? He did 100 Ironmans in 100, actually did 101, didn't he? 101 in 101 days. This guy's only doing 60. Well, their comment to that was potentially the Iron Cowboy didn't abide by WADA rules. He was having RV drips in between his events, and he was also potentially drafting on the bike, whereas this guy's saying he's doing it all legit by WADA rules, no drafting as it should be in an Ironman. Either way, it's a very impressive challenge. 60 days.
I mean, both are very, very impressive, and one has decided to do it one way and one another way. But we also are planning to head out to Fuerteventura in the next couple of weeks, so we are hoping we'll be able to touch base with Ray and see how he's getting on in the middle of it all.
Yeah, we're not going out for a while though, so you better keep going all those 60 days.
Well, moving on, and USA Triathlon has announced a remote national championships using remote racing simulation technology. What do we think to this?
I can't wait for real racing to resume. Yeah, it's a sign of the times, isn't it? They're trying to make it work so everyone can race, even though it's really hard to hold a race in times of a global pandemic. So the solution they've come up with is remote racing. Basically, it's this algorithm system where you do your race in whatever location you can, your swimming pool, you get out, do your bike on the same day as soon after as you can, or on a turbo or on the road, and record it. And then within 10 minutes of finishing your bike, you then run the run distance and record that too outdoors. Must be outdoors, not on a treadmill. And then the algorithm normalizes it and localizes it according to the actual course for the race.
And apparently it's meant to take into account climate, elevation, everything with that, which is really impressive.
Yeah. So what it does then is kind of equalizes it according to as if you had all raced on the same course, and it'll give you your finished position as if everybody raced the same course at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just fascinated. So I'm very excited for everyone in the USA that gets the opportunity to try this out. I think it's really interesting.
You can find out where you are in the national arena. Basically, you can race the national championships from your door.
And the nice thing is you've kind of got a window to compete in rather than a set time on a set day. This is taking place between the 11th to the 21st of November, so you've got a 10-day window or so to work with there.
You could try multiple times if you ever made that first.
True. Yeah, very good. Now moving on to some controversy over at Triathlon Australia.
Yeah, Triathlon Australia in a bit of a crisis, it seems. They were the only nation in the world to qualify 6 athletes, 3 men and 3 women, for the Tokyo Olympic Games, but they didn't get any results. In fact, their best result was 16th Jacob Bertwistle, which was way below what should be expected from a country with the pedigree in triathlon as Australia. And previous world champion Emma Carney has been very vocal in calling for reform and an investigation into what's going on in Triathlon Australia.
Yeah, I mean, there's a number of things going on here that they are diving into, but Emma Carney is trying to look at essentially what they are speculating some race fixing. Now, we are still obviously to know all the details here, but what it seems like is that they have told some athletes to race races and others not to, so that they can get more points, so they can get the 6 spots for the Olympic Games, which Triathlon Australia are arguing, well, that's fine, we were being smart.
And it worked. They were the only country in the world to get 6 spots. So you could argue that's exactly what they're supposed to do, and then send the best athletes there in those 6 spots, which maybe they didn't do.
And to add to that, some athletes that were told not to race so they get these points arguably missed out on racing and getting to go to the Olympic Games and some prize money as a result. So there's a lot to pull apart here.
Yeah, politics and sport really not mixing, as usual.
Yeah, so yeah, we're going to just have to stay tuned for that. Moving on though, we have the UCI confirming that Zwift will again be the host for the UCI Cycling Esports World Championships for 2022. Now with some revised dates to kind of coincide with the peak indoor training times for February the 26th.
Yeah, so whole new Zwift world. They won't be racing in Zwift's Watopia like they did last time. This time it'll be in Zwift's New York map, which is actually New York set 100 years in the future with glass roads that go up above the skyline, and pretty cool
really
location
cool
to have a world champs. And they never had a world champs 100 years in the future before, have they?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually really excited about all this. I think it's quite an exciting move. I just worry about the technical issues they might have.
Yeah, you dropped out of a race the other day with some technical issues, didn't you?
I did, yeah, twice.
No team cars in Zwift that you can pull your way back to the pack and...
Yeah, and imagine if you have buffering issues. Oh, hang on, just wait, neutralise section whilst we're buffering. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, Shalane Flanagan, as we mentioned in the last few weeks, is taking on the almighty 6 World Marathon Majors over the course of 7 weeks. Ordinarily, that would be spaced out over the entire year, but due to COVID, has been condensed into a 7-week period, and she has decided to do all of them.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And she's well on her way too, because she did Berlin in a 2:38, then she did London in a 2:35, then yesterday she did Chicago in a 2:46, and currently as we speak, she is running the Boston Marathon, which is her 4th one. She'll follow that up with a virtual Tokyo Marathon, because unfortunately that was cancelled due to the pandemic. And finally she'll finish with the New York City Marathon to get all 6 majors in 7 weeks. It's pretty impressive, and her times are not slow either.
Really not, very impressive. And by now you guys will probably know what she did in the Boston Marathon, which I imagine is pretty good too. Also at the same time, I mean, notable people racing this, but Chris Nickick also taking part. So yeah, very excited to see how he gets on. And finally, as we are celebrating GTN Swim Week, Heather's managed to chat to Merle Liivand, who set a Guinness World Record for swimming 30 kilometers with a monofin off Miami Beach in Florida, all whilst bringing awareness for water quality and pollution.
Yeah, Mark and I actually tried out the monofin recently. Coming up on our swim week, you might see a little bit of monofin action. We did not go 30 kilometers, in fact.
And we probably should have got some advice from her first.
We probably should have. We were not very good.
Well, Merle, thank you so much for joining us. We're actually having a swim week this week at GTN, so I wanted to touch base with you and there's a few sort of questions I've got. But first up, how on earth did you get into or become a mermaid in your words? I mean, it's quite sort of incredible what you've done, but how did that come about?
Well, because I had such a weird story how I got into sports. My lungs actually collapsed, and my family doctor told me that you should try swimming. Maybe it helps to regulate your lungs and the ventilation. And when I started swimming, I always felt like, because of my health problems, I'm a little bit different maybe than other kids around me. And I always felt like, but I am happy in the water. I'm like a happy fish or happy turtle. And then when I saw Michael Phelps doing the underwaters in Olympics, I was like, there it is. I can be a mermaid, and I can teach that to other kids and other adults, because I feel the fear towards the water is incredibly high on every country. There is a lot of drowning rates are high, and just the fact to get the people towards to water and be happy in the water. That was like something when I really felt I need to figure out. It's the start. It's the start of the fundamental of getting people in a sport, and how are you gonna like make people to be happy inside the water while they are maybe kind of aware their body types or their health problems and all that. And then it just felt that by the mermaid magical way, I can actually inspire more people towards the water instead of seeing them having a love-hate relationship.
And how long have you been swimming as a mermaid? So using your fin and not using your arms. When did that actually start for you?
Well, I secretly have been practicing underwaters where I feel like I can meditate underwater and all that. But when was like 2018, when I started seeing animals being stuck on a plastic, I felt like, I need to do something. And then same time, I was aware of Paralympics. And when I saw that there is Paralympics where people, don't even have an arm and they swim incredibly fast, maybe even faster than people who has arms. And when that was coming towards to me so many ways, I felt like I want to combine these two messages that you can do anything in this world, but as well, you can also fight for oceans. And that combination really was helping me to kind of create this mermaid swim without using arms. And if you look Disney movie, Ariel doesn't use arms either. So it was a perfect combination of everything what I was thinking and creating.
Probably the biggest thing you've done is you're getting the Guinness World Record for the 30 kilometers. I can't sort of comprehend that. Tell us about that with a monofin.
Yeah, it was my 30th birthday also. So it was like perfect 30th birthday gift for myself, and at the same time they had like 5 different cleanups going around on those beaches where I was passing by, and it was without the arms again. And the last 6 kilometers, the current what came against me was 40 kilometers per hour. So that means I lost even my nutritionist. I was so much in pain. I kind of was like crying and thinking and feeling the pain, what the ocean is going through. Because the ocean can be, you start the day off, you have the best flat water, you're enjoying that. I was cruising, I was 1 hour ahead of my schedule. Wow. Until the turning point when I had to face this 40 kilometers per hour current. And seeing around me all the boats kind of suffering, getting by to be next to me, as a safety boats, and myself, you can't pull the arms because otherwise the game is over, right? And you are like, there, you know what? If I'm going to be here until midnight, that's fine. It's my birthday anyway, so, And luckily I finished that with the 9 hours and 18 minutes. And top of that, Jerry, is that the Miami Beach mayor gave me my own day. So now every year the residents have to celebrate my birthday with some environmental day. So it was amazing. And just seeing, I came out and I had so much blisters on my feet, and I was like, this is exactly what the animals are feeling when they're stuck in a fishing net, the pain. And I was more happy that I had a situation like that to understand that there's so much what needs to be done for oceans and these animals.
Now it's time for What the Tech. Starting with this, Polar has launched a new Grit X Pro sport watch and an updated Vantage V2. This is interesting for triathletes. The Grit X Pro looks more like it's aimed at adventurers, and they do say that they're encouraging people to get out there and adventure on their own. They've updated the navigation package and added turn-by-turn navigation paired with commute, plus all kinds of performance features on the new Grit X Pro. Plus, They've also updated the Vantage V2 with a new shift model, which also adds the same navigation features and performance features, and you can retrofit your old Vantage V2 with the new update package to a shift model. So you've got those navigation features and performance features that have come with the new stuff.
Nice, good stuff. Moving on, the International Swimming League, or the ISL, which has kind of been this exciting shift in swimming, moving away from the FINA competitions and bringing in a team format. We've got point systems, skins racing. That's not.
It's like the Super League triathlon for swimming.
Exactly like that.
Swimming.
And they've also decided, or they are talking about bringing in full body tech suits, those sharkskin suits that were
banned.
Exactly, and were accountable to a number of world records back in the day. I think 2008, 2009 time?
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
No one's making them anymore though, because they were banned. Maybe they've got warehouses full of them somewhere that were never sold.
Let's hope so. But it's got me thinking. I thought this was really exciting. The ISL has brought an exciting format to swimming. It's more engaging, bringing media involved, a lot of people from outside of swimming watching the racing, and I guess Super League very similar in that sense, or at least I think so. And could Super League potentially do something similar and sort of throw away the rule book and go, let's put neoprene panels on the tri-suit, let's put disc wheels on road bikes?
I'm going to go with a no. I don't think the swimmings need the cheat suits, and I'm not sure the triathletes need a technology that helps them cheat. I mean, the racing's exciting already, and the Super League is exciting, and the Super League swimming's also exciting without adding cheat suits or anything.
Well, I'll enjoy it.
Not my decision, anyway. On to your race news from this past weekend, and in Challenge Budva Montenegro, a new race on the calendar, Lucy Hall won the women's race quite comfortably. She was ahead of Emma Billum in second and Els Visser in third. On the men's side, Magnus Ditlev won the race really comfortably too. In fact, he smashed it, and then he was disqualified. Apparently, what happened was he led into T2 with a big lead of well over 4 minutes, and halfway through the run he had extended that lead over Patrick Lange to 7 minutes, which led to Patrick Lange shouting at the camera, "What is happening here?" It turned out there was something happening here. The lead cyclist had led him astray. He had to run a slightly different route than everyone else, but I don't think it would have made any difference to the final outcome. Magnus Ditlev crossed the line first, and then after the race, they disqualified him based on basically a technicality. A little bit unfair on Magnus there. It wasn't his fault, and I think he probably would have won the race anyway. In fact, Patrick Lange even said the same, but Patrick Lange taking the spoils there, ahead of Rudy Wild in second and Nils Frommelt in third.
Oh, so devastating. We also had Ironman 70.3 Lanzarote this weekend. Big names there were Annie Haug and Daniel Bakkegaard. Daniel Bakkegaard hot off his third place at the Ironman 70.3 World Championships, just behind Gustav Iden and Sam Long. And it was Daniel Bakkegaard that took the win there by about a minute over Mika Newt, and then third was Thor Madsen. On the women's side, it was Annie Haug that took the win ahead of Nikki Bartlett and India Lee.
And finally in the race news, it's not actually race results, but it is interesting. We spoke about how much money they were earning in the Super League in September with 4 races in 4 weeks over September. Well, the final prize totals, including all the preems for the swim and the bike and the run and the race earnings and the team earnings. So this is what they earned. It's pretty good reading for triathletes. Georgia Taylor-Brown taking home a whopping $140,000 for her work in September. Behind her, Jess Learmonth, $136,000 for her September's work. Katie Zaferis, $52,500. Vicky Holland, $43,500, and Beth Potter in fifth with $42,000.
On the men's side, Alex Yee, $120,000. Hayden Wild, $104,500. Jonathan Brownlee, $73,000. Vincent Louis, $61,000, and Vasco Vilasha, $47,000.
Not a bad payday for the month of September.
Yeah, especially when we were talking about the pay from the Paris-Roubaix last week. But yeah, that's got to be one of the biggest months of triathlon earnings today.
Ever in history. Yeah.
Wow.
On to the stuff you guys have sent us. Remember, you can send us your swim, bike, run related stuff. Just use the uploader down below. Starting with this from Baz in Carlisle, Cumbria. And he says, there's new shipping container in the garden converted into a pain cave and bar. Oh, no photo of the bar though, just the pain cave. Anyway, it's a good looking pain cave.
Yeah, come on, send us the important stuff. Although, I will say, very, very good conversion here. I am slightly concerned by the size of the fan. It's very small, in my opinion.
It is a very small fan, but he does have an aircon installed in that shipping container. Yeah. I reckon you get it pretty chilly in there.
Yeah, true. And part of the Team Oxygen Addict, which is very cool. So, yeah. Good stuff. Moving on to James here, sent in a photo of his felt DA4 from Wisconsin. He said he was doing his last long century training ride before his first Ironman. And a very nice bike and very nice view there.
Yeah, pretty scenic road, that one to ride. And finally, this one from Chris from his front deck in Argyll, Nova Scotia. And he's got quite the view from his front deck, and the bike's pretty good looking too.
Both amazing. Love the setup there with the Pro disc on the back and a head on the front, and I do like the Argon 18 TT bikes.
It says all washed up and drying off before tomorrow's duathlon. I hope your duathlon went well, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. As always, please do send in your photos and videos. Lots of racing happening at the moment, so please send in any action shots, videos, photos using the photo upload link on screen right now, or you can find it in the description just down below. And now moving on to the caption competition, and last week we gave you this photo of Elvis taking part in an Ironman.
In Memphis.
Hey.
Yeah.
And you guys delivered. We've got a lot of great captions, many lyrics, and I feel like this is your era, isn't it? You were Elvis.
Funny, I'm not that much older than you, Mark. Anyway, we're going to dust off our singing voices now because almost all of them are Elvis lyrics, surprisingly
I'm not very good at my Elvis lyrics. You seem to be very good.
Yeah.
So first one from Stu Conway said, Elvis has left T2. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think it's thank you very much.
There we go. See, I told you.
The next one, Greg King. I don't actually know the tune of this one. Lord Almighty, I feel my core temperature rising. Just a hunk of burning quads.
Nice.
Something like that.
E. Foley, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, trying all the time.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good one, Mark. You knew that one. Yeah. Placebo said, watch out, Frodo. I'll show you who the real king is. And I didn't have to sing for that one. Good one, Placebo.
I don't know this one. Ian Shaw, do you want to step in? I feel like you know this one.
We can't run on together in suspicious tries.
Yeah, that rings bells. Yeah, that's cool. You're going to have to do this one as well. You did this so well.
You don't know any Elvis song.
Well, I do
you need
know
to brush up.
I know.
Come on, here's a classic. Velo David says, 3 to get ready now. H-Cat, go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes.
Oh,
you can do anything, but don't step on my blue suede shoes.
Hey.
Sorry for my singing.
Ross Partridge, a little less conversation, a little more triathlon, please.
Ooh,
yeah, it's a little bit clunky.
So a bit clunky. You need to work on the lyrics on that one. Yeah.
Wow.
Good singing there, Mark. Well
thanks,
done.
man.
I just need the tune. And our winner this week, Stephen Lloyd, he says, race organizer, can I quickly take your number? And Elvis says, well, it's 1 for the running, a 2 for the bike, a 1 for the swim, and oh.
Hey, that's got to be the winner, hasn't it? Come on.
We're going to give it to Stephen Lloyd. Send us your details. We'll get a cap out to you. On to this week's caption competition.
Yeah, I love this one. Bit wild out there in the swim.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, I changed my mind. I don't want to swim. I want to do duathlon now.
Yeah. Well, if you can do better than Mark's caption on that one, send it in and maybe you could win a cap next week.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for the show this week. We've got loads coming up on the channel, but make sure you checked out our laser run challenge.
Yeah. Pew, pew.
Yeah, you're very good at it. Really good. Also, beginner versus amateur versus pro with Heather, and we had Kat Matthews in again as the pro there. So yeah, very good work.
And if you're interested, we've got some new kits in our shop, some new colours. Actually, there it is right there. Mark and I'll be sporting that in a few future videos from now on. But if you're interested in getting your own set, we have the shirts, cycle shirts. We also have bibs, there's arm warmers, leg warmers, and gilet or wind vest, if you want to call it that, in the new fancy colorway. I like it.
Yeah, both in men's and women's sizes and fit. And yeah, I mean, it's been a good 4 years in the old colors, so really cool to finally change that up. So yeah, head on over, check that one out. Also, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, give it a like. Don't forget to give us a subscribe down below, and stay tuned for more content during swim week, including our monofin race.